Hello, my name is Dan Vlamis. I'm president of Vlamis Software Solutions, and welcome to today's webcast on Seeing is Believing. We'll be going through parts of the Oracle Business Intelligence stack and showing you how you can use the data, especially focusing on the data visualization capabilities for Oracle Business Intelligence. We'll wait for a few more people to join, and then we'll actually dive into the content. I can see a few more people joining, and you'll have an opportunity to actually speak during the or ask some questions during the webcast. We'll go through exactly how you do that in just a moment. It's part of the content that we'll have. I do want to take this opportunity to thank Oracle for inviting some people to the webcast and try and get out information on what we can do with Oracle's Business Intelligence line of products. Well, I can see we have several people in now, so let's go ahead and begin. My name, as I said, is Dan Vlamis. And you can see contact information for me if you want to reach out afterwards and be able to talk more about what we're doing with this technology. Let's go ahead and dive in. So a little bit about Vlamis Software Solutions, just so you know who's speaking. We were founded over 20 years ago in Kansas City, Missouri. We've developed all sorts of Oracle BI and analytics systems over that 20 years. We specialize in really Oracle-based enterprise business intelligence and analytics, and especially in the whole area of data visualization and predictive analytics, the whole analytics market. We have many people inside Vlamis Software, multiple ACEs, and there's a lot more information on Vlamis.com, including blogs, papers, newsletters, and it's really more than just a marketing website. There's lots of resources out there for people. We're also very proud of being co-authors of the book on data visualization for Oracle Business Intelligence from Oracle Press. I also happen to be a co-author of the book Oracle Essbase and Oracle OLAP, the Guide to Oracle's Multidimensional Solution. We are also Oracle University partners and a Oracle Gold partner. Would love to talk to you more about how you can use Oracle Business Intelligence. What we're going to do today in the webcast is talk about, review some of the Oracle BI offerings, how this all comes together, and really most of the presentation here will be a demonstration of Oracle BI on the Oracle Cloud. And you'll get a sense of what you can do. The software shows very well, so I really, rather than show a bunch of PowerPoint slides, would much rather dive into the software and show it, and that's going to be the majority. Then towards the end, we'll talk a little more about how to get started with the technology and some resources, and we'll leave hopefully plenty of time for some Q&A. We may not use the entire hour as we go forward because we'll leave some time for Q&A, and sometimes people have questions and sometimes they don't. So it depends on what you all want to see. If you do want to ask questions, there is a panel. If you've used that little orange arrow to hide, if you put your cursor on this area, and you can hide this control panel. If you need, you can then expand it back, and there should be an area where you can ask questions, and then I can see those questions and answer them either as they come in or during the specified Q&A time as they come in. Don't be shy and go ahead and ask those. This session is much better if you include some questions as we go. I do want to point out also this is in a series of webcasts that we've given at Vlamis Software. We give webcasts generally when each of the major releases for Oracle BI products comes out, going back to starting with the 11G release in August of 2010. Back, each one of these is a link. If you go to Vlamis.com OBI webinars, or on the left panel where you can see the various sides, various webinars that we give, there's a link there to be able to see all of the ones with new features as they come out for each release. The latest one was just actually last month in November of 2016 when DVD, Data Visualization Desktop, the ability to run this on your own PC, the same software on your PC, just as a Windows executable. When that came out, we gave a webcast on the new features, and I'll be showcasing some of that as we go through today's webcast, some of the newer features in the product. But you can see a bunch of them going back. So let me go with that. Let me go through a little bit, just a quick overview of what Oracle BI is. I promise we'll get to the demo very quickly here. But I do want to give you a sense of what it is that's in the product line. It's very easy to use. A lot of that is especially in the latest release with the data visualization option. And you'll see we'll spend most of our time in that area. It's very feature-rich and intuitive to use. Oracle purposefully, when they put together the data visualization option, they adhered to what's called in the industry kind of a grammar of the graphics visual metaphor for how you design your dashboards and how you design your presentations of your data. So rather than trying to say, here's what's going across the page, here's what's down, you visually navigate with it. And you'll see that as we create, I'll even show you how to create your own presentations from scratch. It's not going to be just pre-built stuff, although it's faster for me to show you things that have been pre-done. As well, you should know that the product allows for two kind of ways of especially thinking of handling data. For those that are in the industry, you kind of get a sense, you probably know for that sometimes you want curated and verified data that users get at. There's the ability in the BI product stack to allow for that so that people are going against a data warehouse. And they may have defined hierarchies that they want to look at the data, and we've vetted this data in our IT department, and we know that it's accurate, and this is the way we want people to think about it. That type of controlled environment is very much supported in the Oracle BI product line. As well, there's the ability for users to bring their own data. Perhaps they have their favorite spreadsheet, a different data source that they get either from the cloud or they're getting it from the corporate data warehouse. It's just not part of what's in part of the BI product, BI offering. It may be tables in a totally foreign system on the cloud, on another server, wherever. They can bring their own data, including Excel spreadsheets, something like that. So there's both modes of that are allowed in this product. It's also mobile ready. Any of the stuff that you create can be deployed as well on a phone or on a tablet device. This is becoming obviously more and more the norm in many environments. You'll also find that by doing this type of development on the Oracle Cloud, it really simplifies the deployments of how you present the data. And so now you can give just people a URL. You don't have to worry about backing up the servers. Oracle takes care of that in terms of cloud deployment. You can have a dev, test, and prod systems, all the type of stuff that you would expect from a scalable system and very complex environments, or they can be very simple. Maybe it's just one set of data you're looking at, even scaling down to as far as just running something standalone on your own PC. Be aware that the major companies around the world, this is a platform that they use. So by starting with this type of platform, you can scale from something that is very small that you just implement on your own desktop, and then if you want to scale that up to something very complex with multiple environments, you can do that and you don't change platforms. The other thing I want to kind of point out, and you'll see this is a overriding theme today, is that the analytics is kind of fun when everybody loves the system. You don't have to beat people up to use this type of stuff and say you have to use the system. It's very feature-rich, and as a result, people enjoy using the system, and it's a lot more easier to work with. So it can be a nice environment to work with. I do want to go over also some advantages of using the cloud deployment of this. Is called BI Cloud Services, or BICS. You'll hear people refer to it. It's easy to deploy. There's no type of install that is necessary. So everything is out on the Oracle Cloud. You're just using a web browser to do everything. You can also model the data that's built into the tool. There's an easier interface to get at the data. For those that are familiar with the Oracle Business Intelligence product line, there are ways to do this just on-prem, where everything is locally running on your server. But these days, more and more companies are going to deploy Oracle BI on the cloud, and that's where you get some of the real advantages of this. One of the other features is you can roll back to a prior state very easily. You can snapshot your entire environment and replay it via what's called a bar file. It's very cost effective to get started. You really are just paying by the month for access to this, and there's no license that you have to purchase. You can connect the data in the cloud, or you can also, by the way, connect to your on-premise data. So just because you are running Oracle BI on the cloud does not mean that all your data has to live in the cloud. So be aware of that. Sometimes that overcomes some objections that people don't want to have to move all their data on the cloud just to capitalize on BI Cloud Services. It does include this visual analyzer interface. And by doing things on the cloud, it really kind of encourages experimentation with the data. And we find also this environment is especially appropriate when people say, you know what, I asked IT about doing a BI project. They said, you know, we don't have room in our computer room for this anymore. Or we don't have the staff to do this. And you'll find you can actually get started very easily with this, and sometimes show them, hey, this is what we can do. Sometimes these are proofs of concept projects that then grow into full systems, and so sometimes this works out very well when you don't want to be encumbered by what IT is saying is possible, and sometimes, frankly, what is not possible. So with that, let me go ahead and dive into showing what some of this stuff actually looks like in Oracle BI. So let me, I'm going to tab over and look at some sample dashboards that are actually running on the cloud on here. So this is a browser. I'm running a BI Cloud Services. I'm going to jump around just so you're aware in a couple different environments to be able to best demonstrate the capabilities of the software. So sometimes we'll see me in one browser, sometimes another browser, sometimes running things on my desktop. All of it is the same code path, all of this running for BI. But I do want to be able to showcase some of the features in here. So this is what the interface looks like. I've loaded a sample dashboard or a canvas that contains 3 different visualizations of data. Let me just take you through the interface a little bit so you see. On the far left side are the major buttons that allow me to go through different data sources I have or be able to look at the various data elements. This is where I can see the various visualizations. Let me just click on that and you'll see I can switch that navigation pane to show different data sources, or I can look at various insights. I don't have any loaded on here, but you'll see, and here are the different data sources. I have one right now just called Sample App. Then this navigation pane changes. I can hide that if I want to get rid of it or re-expand it. And then I can go through in the main navigation. The canvas that we look at is right now has 3 visualizations. There's a stacked area graph, and you'll see this brushing feature. As I hover over various data elements, you can see what the numbers are for this, in this case, revenue by month and brand that I've loaded in here. As I navigate through this and click on these various values, you can see that I can, drill down on this, and also it changes the other visualizations on this desktop. If I want to undo any action, I can click on the undo button, and it undoes the previous action, something that's built in directly into the interface for here. So I can go back to the visualization that was there before. For each of these three different panels then, I can independently navigate those panels and see where the data is coming from for each of those, and be able to look at where the data is coming from. As well, and each of these I can, as I drill down, I can see for this line of business, this is showing for communication, digital electronics, and games. And I can also, in this other visualization of the data, I can see the average order size by date and line of business, and look at that same type of data. Let me go ahead and show what this looks like as a bar chart. Go to another panel of this, and I can see for this that in another view of the data, we can have stacked bar graphs with Americas, APAC versus EMEA, and same type of thing with three different visualizations of this. As well, in here I can change many of these and look at the data for different dimensions or different breakouts of that same data. This is what it looks like in terms of this is what we're doing on the web. Let me just show another visualization because I've got some of these already preloaded with some of the data I want to see. I'm going to switch now to running this with Data Visualization Desktop because I've got something that shows better examples of running the data here. In this example, I've got a sample project loaded, and this is an overview where I'm looking at key sales and profit metrics. In here, this visualization just has a title. This is how you can title what you're looking at. We're also looking at tiles, performance tiles, where you can put on the page specific numbers that you want to be able to look at. So in this case, the important number is profit is 1.3 million, and sales are at 8.5 million. So you can put that out as a performance tile. And as well, we have the same type of thing with a line graph showing what furniture is looking at, office supplies, and technology. In this case, we have a trellis chart. So you can see this is actually three separate charts in this visualization for furniture. And we've also added a trend line. That's what the dashed line shows for here, showing what the trend is for each of these. You can see they're all up, but technology is growing the fastest. A trellis chart is a great visualization for showing comparisons of different, in this case, product categories, furniture versus office supplies versus technology. Up in the upper right-hand corner, we're looking at the data for via a pie graph, of course, available, and you can see sales by product category or profit by product category. In each of these, the visualizations are all drag and droppable. You can change those, and the dashboard will automatically realign itself. You can also go in and change all of this to, if you don't want to adhere to a specific grid of where the data, you can even freeform show what it looks like. We also have tables of data that we can put together. You can see the key metrics by product category for various product categories going down, and as well show multiple metrics going across if you want to see a tabular set of data. Just FYI, we end up showing with the visualizations that we put together typically are very graphic intensive. We find that when people are looking at the data, a bar graph, for instance, is a very effective way to look at the data. The data jumps out. People often start with just tables of numbers, and you just don't get the same types of insights when you look at technology as profit of 729,000 for this versus a line chart that shows what the trend is, and you see the differences over time and see how much more technology really is. Our eyes perceive really just the first digit of that number, or more often, the number of digits in each of those numbers, whereas a graph shows this much more effectively. There's a link on here. I want to make sure I include this, that there are examples available. If you click on this here, it'll open up a web browser, and you can actually download examples from the Oracle web on examples of either visualizations, data sets, and also kind of tutorials that get you started with all this technology. Let me go to another screen showing a few more capabilities before I go through the next set of dashboards. Here we have we're looking at product profitability. We're looking at quarterly sales versus what the profit ratio is. And we can combine, obviously, with a bar chart showing the data, as well as a line graph going across where the year profit revenue ratio is going across. As well, often what we find is that the labels, this is the type of stuff you run in the real world when you're creating this. Notice that on this bar chart, the x-axis showing the various quarters going across, things sometimes don't fit when you have to fit those labels into a defined space. So a horizontal bar chart allows for more label space as you end up looking at these graphs. And Oracle BI will actually make some smart decisions on how to represent your data based on what you have. Here we're also showing the data bars end up showing the values in there, so you don't have to hover over to get the exact number. They're actually, the numbers are placed on the data bars when they fit. This is the type of stuff that Oracle's done a pretty good job at trying to make sure they have smart defaults instead of trying to fit this pens and art supplies, the numbers in here. Obviously the number is not going to fit in such a short bar. So they leave it off. So these are the types of things you can do with it. Let me show you a few more things on each of these. There are context-sensitive menus in each visualization that allow you to do things like drill, or perhaps I just want to keep the individual selected. If I select on binders and binders accessories and bookcases, I can come in here and just keep those selected values or remove them, zoom into it. And then I'll also point out there are some advanced analytics types of capabilities that are built into the product that allow things like allowing for clustering, or add the outliers or remove them from a graph, that type of thing. When you saw before the trend line, that's done by adding a reference line on here, and all the stuff that you would expect in terms of being able to change color values. You know, how do I want to manage the assignments of what color palette I'm using? All that type of stuff is available as you would expect in here. So there's a lot of different capabilities inside the tool to allow you to customize how you're looking at the data and to reorient you know, how I end up creating my visualizations or a dashboard of this as I move these things around. As well, any of these times you have an undo capability if you want to change what you're looking at. Not sure why that. So, or if you want to focus on this specific presentation and take away the left side panel, you can do that as well and get out of that mode. If you want to then save what you have, this allows you to save or print or export this type of dashboard. I can print this, export it as a PDF, and even export the various panels of what I'm looking at to, for instance, a PowerPoint presentation that you take with you. So you can do that as well. There's the ability then to add insights to this. Perhaps there's some kind of insight I come up with that I want to share with others. I can add those insights in here and type them in and end up creating a narrative for this. So that creates an insight, and I can come to the narrate button and see what I'm looking at. As well, you can refresh the data export this out, look at other things to look at all this. Let me show you some other types of visualizations that we've built, and then I promised I would show you how to create one from scratch. We'll get to that as well. If we look at, for instance, things like customer profitability, we've put together a canvas here that includes looking at a scatter chart. Scatter charts and bubble graphs are very effective for seeing where clusters of data naturally exist. So in the furniture, you can see that everything's all clustered to the left side, where we have low amount of profit, and in here, where actually the profit is proportional to the size of the bubble, and then going across, we're looking at the actual sales of products. And so then we also can look at line graphs combined with bar charts, and again, kind of this is a bucketing type of capability where you can bin the data according to another metric and see what the profit is like for various customer profit bins. This is built into the product, allows for a lot of advanced analytics type of capabilities built into the product. If I want to then, if I want to filter things, there's a filter bar up at the top that allows you to filter what continents, for instance, I'm looking at. If I come in here, I can change to just the Americas and Asia, and that will filter the data dynamically based on what I'm looking at and filter the data on this entire dashboard, on this entire canvas, based on what we're looking at, based on the continent, or remove those selections, all of that built in. Let me go through a couple other examples that I want to show. If you look at sales by region, we can also take and overlay visualizations on top of other visualizations, kind of the free-form capability as I was talking about earlier on, where you're looking at profit here in a scatter chart going across, and you can see we've added a trend line here on where that's heading, and looking at things by continent and by region, by America versus Asia and so forth. Finally, the last thing I especially want to show is the ability to look at this graphically for a map. Maps are built into the product, so that if I'm looking at my sales, for instance, and number of orders by country, we can actually color code those visualizations, come up with a choropleth type of map where we are color coding the country based on sales in this case. That's what the green represents. And then bubbles on top of that, in this case, are showing a profit ratio, and number of orders is the size of the bubble. So in one visualization, we're looking at 3 different metrics. And the important thing in being able to look at this via a map type of interface is that you get the sense of adjacency in looking at the data that you really don't get when you're looking at a bar graph of data or a table of numbers. So in this case, we're looking at how does the profitability vary and the sales vary across the world, and you see visually what Asia looks like and what their pattern is versus, for instance, North America. And by being able to represent the data, you can also see the size of the area of each one of these countries, which is in some cases, frankly, both good and bad. It's one of the problems with maps. Sometimes it can distort the data by, for instance, in this case, the U.S. being so small in terms of the number of pixels it occupies, but also it can be helpful in seeing the adjacency. And the other is everybody kind of understands what a map is because they're used to that. We're visual beings in that way. In this case, we're also seeing the example of a profit ratio line by looking at top sales and bars. In here, we can go in, as you would expect, and be able to change any of these types of visualizations interactively. In this case, let me just show you a little bit on this side. As I go in and change each one of these, I can, for instance, get rid of the color for top revenue and change that. Or I can go ahead and drag these things around to change this. If instead of top revenue, I want to change the width of the size of this based on revenue, I just drag and drop that type of graphic, and now you can see the size of the bar is proportional to the numbers that you see in here. And so we can look at it that way. Let me go ahead and just put that back. In this latest release, we can also filter on this, where I can drag individual data elements and filter just this single visualization based on what I see here. So let me go ahead and navigate around a little on this and change some of this so that I can filter based on product name. Perhaps I want to change the visualization for just this graph, and I want to look at individual products for this. Or more appropriately, I may want to change that based on the time frame that I'm looking at. So let's look at that by order year. I'll filter. You can, if you drag and drop it here and replace it, it will change to order year, and I can come in and change this visualization and filter it based on a given order year and change that. One other thing that I want to show is the ability to look at words on the system. People are getting more and more into looking at data via word cloud so that we can see United States is the largest. If that's the way you want to represent the data, you can do that as well. So with that, let me show you how to create. I've created one. Rather than going through each one of these, I've created one, and I want to show you how to create one of these from scratch and what the process is like. This is what we're going to build, and in this case, I'm looking at sales by city and by ship mode, and then I'll also look at profit by city. So let me go ahead and create a new canvas and drag these things over. So I'm going to start with a new canvas, and in this data set, I've got this thing called sample order lines, and I'm going to go ahead and take sales, and I want to look at that by city. If I just control-click on there, I'm selecting both of those. I'll create something brand new, and now if I create the best visualization for this, the product will go ahead and add that to my canvas, and I'll see my sales by city. You can see cities going across the entire world across here, and it's automatically presented this as a horizontal bar chart because of the length of the labels and the number of labels we need to represent here. It is also selected a horizontal stacked type of graph on here, and I can drag and drop instead of, if I want to, instead of looking this by city, if I want to add a second measure or look at this by an additional dimension, I can drag this over here and add color as looking at things by year, by color. And you see it's actually kind of fun to look at the data in different ways and look at this breaking out by year. As I hover over each one of those, it can specify what I want to see. Let me go ahead and remove the year portion of that. So I'll just click on the X to get rid of it. And then we'll create another visualization and look at the profitability in this case. There's profit. And we'll look at the profit by city as well. And now I'm going to create a best visualization for that as well. And I'll have two canvases across here. I can then, of course, switch these around if I want the order, switch them back, that type of thing as well. All the stuff that you would expect as you look at this. If I then want to perhaps filter sales by city and filter that by something like a country in here, I think I have country in here. I'm not seeing it right now. But I can filter, oh, it's in my sample states. So I have a second data set in here. One of the things that I can do is actually link these, and in effect, Oracle BI is doing a join For those with a more of an IT background, I have two separate data sets here, sample order lines, and I also have a Excel document that really the IT people didn't supply. And in here, I have the country. So I can drag country up here as a filter. Let me do that. I want to do that on my sales by city. So I'll select, you saw me select that visualization and drag country in here as a filter, and it'll filter this visualization based on country, and now I can go in and select the United States as the visualization as being filtered by that. And so now we're seeing the sales by city just for United States. So that kind of gives you a sense of how you can build these things from scratch in terms of being able to look at these types of things. You can create additional for each one of these. Here's the list of visualizations that you can look at, bars, stacked bars, horizontal, the list goes on. And one thing I'll also point out, one of these in here, the BoxPlot Viz plugin, by the way, is actually not in the base product of the data visualization. In this case, I have added that. Oracle makes a lot of these visualizations available, and they kind of held this one back for now to show an example of adding your own custom visualizations. So this was coded separately by a different group. It'll eventually be in the base product. But then if you find that all of these visualizations, there's something you're missing, you can add your own. Indeed, including that box plot visualization, for example, in being able to add. And now that is available as a first-class type of visualization that you can add. So, and this list of visualizations is growing with each release on each one of these. So, be aware that you can, add additional visualizations for each one of these. So, in terms of adding all these, that kind of shows an example of creating your own. Once I then want to save it, it's a matter of just clicking on this Save As, and that exports this, saves it into my catalog, and I can share it with other people. There's the ability to be able to share different sets of data with different users. There are access rights capabilities, both in terms of what types of catalogs people look at, visualizations you've created, as well as what type of data people are looking at, and the ability to filter out which people get to see which data. I should add as well, one last thing I want to show is the ability to create my own data sources. So if I click on Add a Data Source, I can go in and create a new data source. These are all the data sources I have available and have added over time. As well, I can create a new data source. You can see I've actually have two different types of servers that we're going to connect up to that are really database servers with Oracle database running. I can also add a new connection to all sorts of new data sources. You can see there's it's actually a very large list of these that are available that we can connect to. So all sorts of cloud data sources, as well as data sources that may be available in your on-premise environment, or for that matter, if I come out of here, let's just show you what this in general looks like. If I try to, for instance, connect up to an Oracle database, you specify a connection name, what the host name is, what port you go after, that type of thing. And this is what allows people to get at all sorts of their own data, as well as, let me show you, if you come in here and create a new data source from a file, here is a list of various Excel spreadsheets. So in this case, I will look at the opportunities data source, add that in, and now I have, here is the example of that data source, and I can see, the specific columns from this Excel spreadsheet and be able to add those. And once I add that as a data source, I can then analyze any of that data using data visualization. So all the capabilities you just saw, I look at the various amounts, look at them for each of these accounts, for each of the opportunities. That type of thing is available here. And there's even the ability to go and join that to other data sources, filter through the data. I can then go in and even do things like change this sales stage to split this on the hyphen. All of that in a graphical, kind of click by click instead of having to program anything. Add additional columns, all that. Some of this gets into how much do you want to, as a user, do this type of thing, and how much do you want some professional that is familiar with an ETL type of process, extract, transform, and load, that may do very complex things in data validation and such in here as well. But I can add that and then be able to analyze that same type of data. And that's how we got, indeed, this sample states data. You can see the little Excel spreadsheet. That's what we used to create that. So with that, let me go back and give some parting remarks on this. I can also show some additional examples, but I want to make sure that if people have questions that I answer, leave enough time for people to answer so that I can answer any questions that people come up with. So let me flip back and show you a few more things and some resources that you can capitalize on in order to use BI Cloud Services or actually any of the Oracle BI product line. So one of the things I wanted to show, make sure I covered all this, is that I wanted to show some example dashboards of things where people can put things together, what that environment looks like. Hopefully you saw that it's very analytically rich type of content, that you can add your own type of analytics to this. Indeed, with the trend line capabilities, I really didn't even get into the capabilities of doing things with R, the language R, the ability to create your own types of analytics on this and your own analyses in that language, and be able to do things like forecasting. That's in there as well. There's a lot of analytically rich type of content. You can build your own dashboards and presentations. Showed you kind of building one from scratch, what that environment is like. It's really kind of no different. It's just a click and drag type of operation. And the grammar of the graphics way of working with the software makes it really easy and fun to work with. As well, users can bring their own data to the project instead of relying on IT with the data warehouse that they've already put together. So all those capabilities are available within the Oracle BI product line. Let's talk a little bit about how to get started with that. It's actually pretty easy to get started. I'll go over a capability real soon here that shows how you can take a test drive to try it out for 24 hours, if you will, on us. We'd welcome you if you say, hey, I just want to try it out. I don't want to sign up for a trial account from Oracle. I just want to try, click around, get a sense of what it's like. I'll go through that. You can also ask Oracle for a trial account. If you go to cloud.oracle.com, you'll see that in the resources. You can ask for a trial account for free from Oracle and try this stuff out. You generally get it for a month. And you'll also find that having a guide really speeds up your process of getting to know how this works. We'll go through that a little bit more as well. That's part of our QuickStart program. And really, this stuff is a lot of fun to work with, and it really exposes where you are with the data. You can very quickly get some insights into your data with this type of software. So I told you I'd tell you about the test drive. It's free to try out. We have 2 of them right now on our website. One for Oracle BI Cloud Services, exactly what we're talking about, and the other would be the Oracle Advanced Analytics, which is running analytics inside the Oracle database, in case you're interested in that. All you do is go to www.vlamis.com/TD for test drive. This runs on the Oracle Cloud, and we do have those BICS and Advanced Analytics test drive. You have that access for 24 hours, and we include, by the way, on this a click-by-click script But you can also go off-road. It's not limited in demoware, if you will, that each time you press enter it goes to the next screen. It's the real functioning product on this. We find that it's actually faster and easier than the Oracle trial web account. You have to validate your email address, that type of thing. In this, you just we send you an email, and I'll show you what that looks like. This is what it looks like. If you go to vlamis.com/td, you just fill in your name and email address and company name and a phone number. And if you want to include comments, you can or not, and that's it. We then send you an email with a user ID and password, and included is this PDF file with a script that you run through, and it is exactly what to click on that includes. We include how to sign up. It's basically your URL that you get to with a user ID and password. You sign in, and you're there. You use the PDF file to go through basically what we went through today. A little bit different than that. I showed some of the advanced capability than the latest test drive script that we have on that, which is a little older version of the software that we went through and produced the click-by-click stuff on. I wanted to show some of the things that recently came out. But that is available on the Oracle Cloud and able to start it off right now. So there's nothing to stop you from signing in to try it out and see what it's like. Sometimes people want to just get their hands dirty. If you then want to take it kind of the next step, you can sign up for an Oracle trial, try it with your own data, and we have a QuickStart program that allows you to get going very easily on the web. And we really think that by having somebody to guide you a little bit, and you'll see that there's multiple levels of this, we can get you going a lot faster than you going through things yourself. It's not just the technical what to click on. It's actually pretty easy for that. But there's a whole process of how do I get started with my own corporate data? I don't even know what data sets to start with, that type of thing. This is what we think of in terms of how to start. Identify the most promising data and start only with that. Don't try and load everything in there. Then we would really encourage you to deliver a functioning system very quickly and then build on that. Don't try and figure out your architecture for all of your BI stuff from the get-go. You'll do much better if you deliver some value to some of the stakeholders in this, get some corporate buy-in, and as well become more familiar with the capabilities of your tool yourself. You'll find that your initial ways you think of using the system are not necessarily the best ways for you to use it. You'll need to become more experienced and think about the business process you're trying to model. If you utilize some best practices, and that's frankly where we come in to help, that will then help ensure some scalability of the techniques that you're using. We work with customers all the time that take shortcuts, and frankly some of the shortcuts are very warranted, but they need to be known that they're shortcuts, and at times you then need to go back and do things, quote, the right way that may take a little longer, but will then scale future so that for the future so that you can run with billions of records, that type of thing. We'll also be able to help by transferring the skills and knowledge through a mentorship type of program and some training that we can provide you. That way your staff comes up to speed, and frankly you're not reliant on us all the time. So this is what the program looks like. We have 3 different packages. We have a 1 week with 1 consultant, 2 weeks with 2, or 4 weeks with 3 consultants. We have a defined process that we go through. We have a schedule and set tasks that we work with, and we have people that frankly know the software and the process of just how to get started with this. We, as part of this, the first thing we do is basically define some specific deliverables, what the cloud system configuration is, what data you're going to use, how are we going to load the data, how do you model the data, and go through and analysis design, a dashboard design, and as well a sample visual analyzer, a data visualization project. And we include training in that as well. We have details out on our website on that. You can just go to our website at vlamis.com or this specific URL, BICS-quick-start. that'll give you information on that. I do want to plug one conference that I happen to be the chair for. We go out and we talk about all this exact type of content in a conference taking place at Oracle headquarters called BICS Summit 2017. If you're interested in this type of topic, and also we'll be joined by the spatial team, the ones that are especially interested in loading spatial data, i.e. map type data, in the Oracle database. That takes place January 31st through February 2nd, 2017. There's information at the bottom of the screen you see there, bwithsummit.org, and it's a very intimate type of conference where you can get to see what others are doing with BI and analytics and data warehousing. That's what BICS stands for, and see what they're doing with the technology. As part of that, by the way, there'll be hands-on labs where you can essentially use that as training capabilities and go for training classes where you get your hands dirty and get to know how to use this Oracle technology. Some resources that you may want to avail yourself of and try out include vlamis.com/TD. That's where you can test drive BICS yourself. And go to our website at vlamis.com. By the way, if people have questions, send those off to us with the questions panel. I'll try to handle as many of those as time allows. So go ahead and enter those in, and I'll try and gather that, put up the resources slide while we're handling questions on this. If you want to try out the Oracle Cloud software, you can go to cloud.oracle.com. You can then navigate your way to business intelligence. I've also included on this resources slide the direct URL to the business intelligence portion of cloud.oracle.com. As a hint, you'll find it under platform as a service, by the way. There are many Oracle offerings in the cloud, and include infrastructure as a service, to the ability to run whatever on whatever machine you want, whatever software you want. But the BI Cloud offering fits within the platform as a service offering. If you are interested in just Oracle Business Intelligence in general, you'll find that at oracle.com/BI, and that will cover not only running Oracle BI on the cloud, as well as running it on your on-premise environment. And indeed, for some of what I showed today, it was covering running Oracle BI on your own desktop. You can do that as well. That, by the way, is called Data Visualization Desktop, DVD for short. And you can find information on that as well within oracle.com/BI. Finally, there is the Oracle Technology Network has a lot of technical information about the Oracle product line. You'll find that at oracle.com/technetwork. Obviously, would love to talk to you more about this if you email me at dvlamis@vlamis.com or follow my Twitter account at dvlamis. And with that, we'll see if we have any questions. We have just a few minutes here. If I don't have as many questions, I'll try and actually go back and show some of the advanced analytics capabilities on here. So let me see if anybody has any questions. I see one question that's come in asking for the data visualization. They're asking about how data visualization differs from Oracle BI. It's a good question. Let me try and answer that. The Oracle Business Intelligence is the original product that had that Oracle came out with for Oracle Business Intelligence. They got that from, for those who have been around for a while, from Siebel, from a product called Enquire. That came out as Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition, or OBIEE as it's known. That has gone through several releases, including the most recent release is the 12 version. In that version, in the 12 version, Oracle included a new module called Data Visualization, originally known as Visual Analyzer. that data visualization option is a feature that's available both in the cloud. It's called Data Visualization Cloud Service, DVCS, and it also is available in BI Cloud Services. Data Visualization Cloud Service is a less expensive a subset of BICS that you can buy at, frankly, a lower price point. That's what data visualization is used for. It is a subset of the entire BI product stack, and you'll find that data visualization is being used in many of the Oracle products, the suite of products. DV is kind of their go-to way of presenting data, is via that mechanism. So you have data visualization is a newer front end, if you will, for BI Cloud Services and a portion of now BI Cloud Services. Hopefully that made some sense for the person that was asking. So, and I should also mention while I'm at it, the ability to run data visualization on an individual PC is called Data Visualization Desktop, or DVD. It's just a Windows executable. You download it from the Oracle Technology Network that you see on the screen, and you can run DVD standalone for yourself, and that runs on your PC. I'll go ahead and mention as another part of the product line coming out, this was announced back at Oracle Open World, that there is a product coming out eventually that can run directly on your phone and on your tablet. That will be coming out. Oracle's official line is within the next 12 months is the way they tend to put things. That is purposely built to run on your tablet and on your phone for looking at this. The Oracle BI product line includes a mobile platform that allows you to run all this stuff released right now, by the way. It has been for, a couple of years, which runs BI HD that runs on mobile, BI Mobile HD that runs on your phone and on your tablet. This is just a newer offering that runs standalone. So that's coming out as well. Well, I don't see any other questions that are coming out, so let me go ahead and see if I can show one more thing in here, and that's the ability to see some of this stuff running on a some of the advanced analytics type of capabilities in here. If I come and look at examples of looking at some dashboards, this is some market basket analysis. Consider this kind of a bonus thing, where we're looking at combinations of products. You can do the ability to run very complex things. Kind of the sky's the limit here, where we're looking at combination of products in here. This is on a platform called Sample App, which if you want to really get into how to use Oracle BI, Google Oracle BI Sample App, all one word, Sample APP. And you'll be able to download a virtual machine that contains all this stuff that is a very nice way to learn the guts of Oracle Business Intelligence. So you can see how crispy strips and 9 fillet bites. If people order crispy strips, they are likely to order 9 fillet bites. And what kind of lift ratio do we have for that? What kind of support and confidence? This is all computed inside the Oracle database. I'll show one other thing. I have 2 minutes left. If you want to look at how decomposing the close price, this area, we should actually put this visualization over on this side. Makes more sense. We start with this. This is the Oracle stock price, by the way, over the past few years. And you can decompose that into the overall trend that the stock price is, what the seasonality, and what the remainder is for each of those. So this is the seasonality for the Oracle stock price and what the overall trend is up for this time period from 2008 through, looks like 2013, beginning of 2013, and what that looked like. So this, by the way, is all pulled from the Oracle database. This is not separate software running. This decomposition happens just from asking the Oracle database to decompose. If you haven't seen what you can do with the analytics with the Oracle database, it's pretty powerful. All right, then coming back to the PowerPoint for this, let me just go ahead and wrap up. If you have any other questions, be happy to answer them if you send them to dvlamis@vlamis.com. And we'd love to talk to you about how to get started with BI Cloud Services, and go ahead and try the test drive and try it out for yourself. With that, I'll thank you all for being in today's presentation. We did record it, and we'll make it available on our website. If you have some colleagues that missed it and want to be able to share with them, you'll find it at vlamis.com within a few days. Thank you very much.